What if you could just tell an AI, hey, go start a business for me, and then just walk away? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty wild experiment that did exactly that. It put AI to the ultimate test. Could it actually build and run a profitable company all by itself?
So here was the challenge, and it was a big one. Could ChatGPT not only invent a business idea from scratch, but then execute it and pull in $1,000 in profit all in just 24 hours? I mean, the stakes were incredibly high, and honestly, it sounds almost impossible.
All right, so what was the big idea here? Well, the AI was told to create this thing we're going to call an automated reseller business. The concept itself is actually pretty simple, but how they tried to pull it off, that's where it gets really interesting.
The whole game was built around automated reselling. Think about it. The AI was supposed to do all the heavy lifting. It was the brain of the whole operation, scouring the internet for deals, haggling on prices, and even setting up the pickup and delivery. The human's only job, sit back and watch the money come in. Or, that was the plan anyway.
And the system was built on a really straightforward 4-step loop. First, it would scan Facebook Marketplace to find things being sold for cheap. Second, it would use ChatGPT to message the seller and negotiate an even better price. Third, it would call an Uber to go pick the item up. And finally, step 4, it would relist the item and sell it for a profit. Simple, elegant, totally automated. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, as it turns out, a lot. That perfect plan, that seamless system where all these platforms work together in harmony, yeah, it hit a massive wall almost immediately. The real world, it seems, wasn't quite ready for this.
Okay, so the very first roadblock was a total showstopper. The Facebook Marketplace account, which was, the lifeblood of the entire business, got suspended. Why? The platform's algorithm flagged it for unusual activity. Turns out, when a bot operates at machine speed, it sets off all kinds of red flags. In a weird way, the AI was just too good at its job.
And even if it could find a deal, it couldn't actually get the item. When the AI tried to order an Uber for the pickup, it slammed right into a security wall. One of those human verification steps. The prove you're not a robot test. And a robot, well, it couldn't pass. Just like that, the entire logistics chain was completely paralyzed.
So at this point, the whole experiment was pretty much on life support. You've got no way to look for items and no way to pick them up even if you found them. That $1,000 goal was looking less like a challenge and more like a fantasy. The whole project was right on the edge of being a total failure.
But right when you think it's game over, something pretty remarkable happened. The system and the AI that was driving it started to adapt. This wasn't turning into a story about failure after all, it was becoming a story about persistence.
There's this great line from the source material that just nails it. It turns out, ChatGPT won't stop until it gets what it wants. Once those initial problems were finally fixed, the AI didn't just get back to work. It went back with this relentless focus, almost like it was determined to finish its mission.
And that persistence? Oh, it paid off. Once it was back online, the AI immediately started firing off messages to 20 different sellers on Facebook Marketplace. It was officially back in the game and casting a super wide net for any potential deals. Now get this, out of those 20 conversations it started, the AI successfully negotiated and locked in purchase agreements for 9 different items. That's almost a 50% conversion rate from just starting a chat to closing a deal. I mean, that's impressive for any salesperson, let alone a piece of code.
And of those 9 deals it secured, it managed to complete the entire cycle, the purchase, the pickup, and the resale, for 3 of them. Now, 3 might not sound like a huge number, but this was the proof of concept. The automated engine was finally actually working from start to finish.
So, the system worked. We know that. It could find deals, it could negotiate, and it could sell things. But the really big question is still hanging out there. Did it hit that ambitious $1,000 goal? Let's take a look at how the dream really stacked up against reality. So, the goal was $1,000. The reality, a profit of $145. So yeah, technically a success. It made money, but it was a pretty far cry from that massive target they were shooting for.
Now, it would be so easy to just look at that number and call the whole experiment a bit of a letdown. But that figure, that single day's profit, it doesn't really capture the full picture of what this AI system actually managed to accomplish.
Because when you take that daily profit of $145 and you project it out over a whole month, that number blows up to $4,000. And all of a sudden, this isn't about a small one-day win anymore. It's about a significant, consistent, and fully automated income stream. And that changes everything.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, for one, AI automation isn't magic. It definitely runs into real-world problems. And those big, ambitious goals, they often need a serious reality check. But maybe the most important lesson is that small, consistent profits could build into something really substantial. This whole thing just shows both the surprising toughness and the incredible potential of this technology. And all of this leaves us with one final, huge question. We just saw an AI build a system that can generate over $4,000 a month with almost zero human effort. So, is this what the future of entrepreneurship or even just the humble side hustle is going to look like? It's a pretty fascinating thought to leave you with.